Takú Ameriku, Kanadu, tak to je nejaké.
Slovensko, aj budúci rok.
Benny? Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'm here, Benny. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This will be Ladislav Nagy's last game with the Slovak national team. The 39-year-old has announced he'll retire from national team play after this game against Denmark. And there's a lot on the line, believe it or not, for Craig Ramsey and Slovakia. It wouldn't appear as though at first, but right now Slovakia is 10th in the IIHF world ranking. If they win and Latvia beats Norway, Slovakia would jump to 9th. Why does that matter? 9 teams get automatic qualification for the next Olympics. It's usually 8 teams plus the host nation. China, the host team for 2022, has not yet been granted an automatic spot. That'll be decided here at the IIHF Congress. If China doesn't get in and Slovakia is 9th, they're into the Olympics automatically. Denis Godlov gets the start for the Slovaks. Played 1 game in the tournament. Got the win against Great Britain. He was the MVP and top goaltender of the 2015 World Junior Championship in Toronto. So in the machineries of international hockey, the most bizarre part of this whole story, Ray, is China is lobbying and meeting with the IIHF this week. Guess who's representing them? Jaromir Jagr, a Czech, trying to get the Chinese in. Jagr gets one more chance to stick it to the Slovaks.
Lots of talking for something 3 years away.
Right, but it's the rankings after this World Championship that decide it, because Olympic qualification has to begin. Jesper Jensen Abo goes back for it. Denmark, meantime, has never qualified for an Olympic hockey tournament. Their Chernak, a long shot that's knocked down by Sebastian Daum. They'll be back in the top division for the 18th straight year next year at the World Championship in Switzerland. Lausanne and Zurich are the host cities. And as you mentioned in the opening, Ray, this has been a very good tournament for the Slovaks. They opened with an impressive win against the United States, but then the 2 crushing losses late, 6-5 to Canada and 3-2 to Germany, ended their chances.
And that came after a 4-2 loss to the Finns, where they played very well too. They were.
Lunacek works in, a bouncing puck, drop back to Marco Dano. That's knocked away from him.
Watching them play, it seems almost inconceivable to me that they're not going to qualify for the quarterfinals. But Germany has done a good job. They won the first 4 games. They got pumped a couple of times, and they did enough in those 4 games to get the points they needed to accrue to get themselves into the quarters, and finished off with a pretty nifty 4-2 win today against the Finns.
We want a goal, the fans chant here. Been raucous games for the Slovaks here in Kosice. The last time the tournament was held here, they finished 10th. As it's fired down. And back to pick it up is Oliver Larsson. Loose puck at the side of the goal, knocked away by Daum. For Denmark, Mathias Lassen, the longtime defenseman, announced his retirement for the national team as well. He's not playing today, he's a healthy scratch.
Well, this is what'll be in my head tonight.
And every other night we've been
Oh
here.
my gosh, this song is pretty awesome. I can't get it out of my head. I don't know the words, but I can't get it out of my head.
I know the one word, Slovensko. That's all I got for you.
That's what I got out of the thing.
The easy part. It's a proud hockey country. The game is enormously popular at the professional level. Now play called along the boards. The Slovaks, of course, are magicians at the World Junior Championship in avoiding relegation. 5 times in the last 20 years, they've finished 1 spot above relegation.
Denmark yesterday really got pancaked against Canada. A 5-0 loss, but really they were not in the game at all. 3 goals in the first 8.5 minutes. And it'll be interesting to see for them, as they were 10th last year at home in Herning in Copenhagen, and they had Freddie Anderson and Frans Nielsen to anchor their team, but we'll see what they have tonight.
Marcus Lorentzen leaves that there for Peter Regan, the Danish captain and National Hockey League veteran of 7 years in Ottawa, the Islanders in Chicago. And Tchaikovsky's lead pass is knocked down, and Dam out to play it. Denmark got a win in its opener against France. It was in a shootout, coming back from 4-2 down in that game. But then a loss to Germany pretty much ended their hopes of advancing to the quarterfinals, something they've done twice in their 17 years in the top division, 2010 and 2016.
Outscored 15-2 against the Finns, the US, and Canada. So their games were earlier in the tournament that they had to have. It looked for a while like this might be something that would help determine that last quarterfinal spot, but hasn't gone that way for either country.
Nick Jensen knocks that free. Kristoff plays it back for Martin Marincin. And back down to Michael Tchaikovsky. The Slovaks and every host nation in a world tournament has a chance to set up the schedule pretty much to their liking. So they gave the Slovaks, the host country, the 3 hardest games right away: USA, Finland, Canada, and then the easier games later in hopes that they would make a late run. Also, in their last 6 games, their opponent has always played the day before.
It started so perfectly for them. A win over the United States, 4-1, and that seemed to be 3 points that other people wouldn't get. However, they kicked away some late points. Certainly against Canada, the 2 seconds left power play goal by Mark Stone, but it was the one against the Germans that was their crusher. A 2-1 lead in the last minute and a half. They don't even get to overtime. They lose in regulation. 2 quick goals against.
So basically a 6-point swing in that 90 seconds. Poulsen swings back now for Denmark. Feeds it back at the point. And that shot by Lassen deflects wide. Poulsen drops it back. Oliver Lauritsen back to Lassen. That deflects down in front of Godla, knocks that away. Godla now plays in Finland for Kalpa in the Finnish Elite League. He was an amazing story at the 2015 World Junior.
When they were saluting him after their quarterfinal loss, it was awesome. It will be a moment he'll never forget. The crowd was chanting his name, and he was amazing in that tournament.
Slovaks were bronze medalists that year. The logo for this tournament is Peter Mrazek celebrating a win. Picked out by Boots. Rink wide he goes. Liska works in. Liska drops that back. And now picked up by Patrick Russell. Russell works in. Russell, a late addition to the Danish squad after Bakersfield of the American League got knocked out in the playoffs. Now Tchaikovsky leaves it there for Boots. Loose puck to Nagy, and they'll call icing here.
It has to be offside. I mean, Nagy was the first guy in.
So they'll huddle over this, but the faceoff will be outside the Danish blue line.
If it's offside, this should be a commercial break, but they're all standing there. They're ready with the shovels. Don't know if they're going to open up that door, though.
Now the officials are conferring here about what the call is.
Well, it can only be one call. It can't be icing.
I think he was the first guy there.
This is funny. The ref is signaling down to the shovel guys to get out on the ice. And nobody's moving.
No one's looking. That's the problem.
Craig Ramsey's over there saying, what is going on? Can we make a change? Can we not?
No score here in the first period. Seacher, the final day of round-robin play at this World Hockey Championship. A lot of the lines still to come later in the day. That's knocked down by Chernak, up for Nagy. And now Chernak back for it. Rink wide pass for Kristoff. And back to pick up is Philip Rugesser. Denmark got relegated to the World Junior this year after 5 straight years in the top division, which was a huge accomplishment for Olaf Eller and his group. To be 5 years in that top division. Germany comes up next year. As Tatar moves in, Germany guaranteed a quarterfinal spot here at the World Championship. After a silver medal last year at the Olympics, and both their under 18 and under 20 programs have qualified for the top divisions in the IIHF rankings, which is a long time coming for Germany. Koch moves out ahead for Tatar. In for Hudacek. He's knocked off the puck by Madsen. Oliver Larsson swings that rink wide.
Godla hasn't even thought of freezing a puck yet. Every time the puck comes to him, no matter where the traffic is, he bunts it aside. It's like he's got a cab waiting outside here.
Olsen knocks that back. Mentioned that the Slovaks are 4-2 all time against Denmark. The last meeting was a Danish shootout win in 2017. The last 2 meetings have gone to a shootout. Denmark plays a lot of close games in international hockey. They lose more than they win, but of course at the World Junior Championship, Ravies, for 5 years we saw them perfect the art of winning the one game they had to win.
Yeah, one time, one game, a 3-2 win somewhere.
Win a shootout. There's an icing call against the Slovaks.
A pretty uneventful 9 minutes. There's Andrei Sekera. Sekera's had a terrific tournament, coming off 2 seasons in a row with really significant injury problems, a knee ACL injury, then an Achilles injury. He's got 5 points in the 6 games, but more importantly, I think for Edmonton Oilers fans, they look at him, he's leading the team in ice time, 23 minutes a game. He's handled it quite easily. His mobility looks better than it did in the regular season, and for someone that played just 24 games during the year, another 7 games of hockey here probably helps him be a little more confident going into his summer training and to training camp of next year.
Regan drops that back. Moved out by Larsson. Jesper Jensen plays that back at the point for Oliver Lorentzen, and he can't hold the line. It's called offside.
Lorentzen had a pretty rambunctious night against Canada last night. He flattened it. Anthony Cirelli, he hit Tyler Bertuzzi behind the net, that resulted in about a 5 or 6 minute delay while they fixed the glass. He was into a couple of scrums, and he had a burr in him yesterday.
Oh, did he ever? And when a guy his size, 6'6", 230 pounds, gets a burr, that's a rather large object.
Yeah, everybody notices too.
Hard wire to the goal. Now Storm works it free for Denmark. Storm, a centering pass broken up by Kristoff. Brugesser, centering pass. Jesper Jensen moves in. Now Jesper Jensen flips it back, but Kristoff picks it out. Michael Kristoff works it across for Studenic. Winds it and shoots. Pad stopped by Dom. Loose puck in front, cleared out by the Danes. a workhorse. Goal for Denmark the last few years. There's an offside call at the Slovak line. No score here in the first period. Ferraro here on the final day of the opening round of the World Hockey Championship. We know this on this side. Finland's going to be second. That's all we know.
No, that's not true. You know, the French are 8th.
True. Great Britain 7th.
There you go, see?
In the quarterfinal picture, we only know that Finland's second.
That's the more complete story.
Tatar drops it back for Dano on the rebound, skipped away from Hudacek. On the other side of the draw, it gets a little more complex, although basically it's Russia, Czech, Sweden, Switzerland, unless the Swedes beat the Russians tonight by 3 or more goals. Then it depends on the score of that game.
It's not happening.
You know afterwards what's going to happen. Antoshi moves in. That's knocked down by Oliver Lauritsen.
The Swedes aren't beating Russia by 3 goals today. I'm sorry, Gord. That's not going to happen.
Okay. You can put that in ink. Hard to imagine. As Sukal moves in, he gets turned around and feeds it back for Bondra. That is David Bondra, the son of Peter Bondra, the IIHF Hall of Famer, who scored 500 goals in the NHL.
Oh, could he skate and shoot it off the right wing? Brilliant player early in his career in Washington.
We often talk about guys who want to score as opposed to guys that need to score. Peter Bondra was a guy that needed to score. Puck bounced off the glass, another play, 7:37 to go.
Marco Dano's had a really difficult tournament. He hasn't found a way to get a goal. He's only got 1 assist, and here's a point-blank shot, and he rifles it off the toe of Marcus Lauritsen. Good play by Thomas Tatar to stay on the puck, and Tatar, who had a terrific comeback here in Montreal this year after a disappointing last quarter of the year in Vegas a year ago. He finds Dano in the slot, and the puck deflects into the corner.
Chipped in by Bonker. He got bumped there by Martin Feravari, who played in the World Junior Championship in January for the Slovaks.
Second round pick of the Capitals.
Lead pass now for Lunter. Moves in, slides it across for Feravari. That was knocked away by Russell on a good back check. Lishka plays it back and hops over the stick of Boots. Slovaks have their Orange junior program where they keep their junior players together. They spend the entire season playing against teams in the Slovak Extra League, their top league. That's been an attempt to stem the tide of Slovak players leaving to play in North America. We've got guys like Feravari who go to Sweden instead. He spent 5 years playing there. Lead pass for Storm, misfired. And Godla leaves it there for Tchaikovsky. Student each. Winds it across the line. Peels back, and that's knocked away by Marcus Lauritsen. 2 plays in Sweden, like so many Danes do, and you've talked about it before, Ray, the conundrum for the Danes, do you want your top players to stay home, or they can hop across the bridge and play in Sweden? Hudacek moves it back in, that's knocked away by Down.
After turning the puck over, Lawrenson dives back into the play, and Dom helps out to prevent what would be an open net and a 1-0 Slovak lead.
No score in Bratislava between Norway and Latvia. Tatar. Drops it off in the corner for Hudacek. And Olsen chips it around for Paulson. 5.5 to go in the period. And we'll step away with no score here in the opening period. .20 remaining here in the opening period. This building literally shakes when the Slovaks are playing.
Steel arena, and it is.
There's not much here that isn't made of metal.
Including that beam that you almost hit your head in the hallway almost every time through. It's about 6'1", that beam.
You're simple with a shot.
I don't have a problem with it.
But hang on, you almost hit your head. How did you manage that?
I was hugging the wall there. I don't know what I was doing.
The 5'9" part.
That would have hurt.
Building open in 2006.
The noise rattles around. Here's a real good chance. Nice play by Hudacek, who's going to go back across the front of the net, and it's Lawrenson who lays out Marcus Lawrenson to pull aside what would have been an empty net for Tomasz Tatar.
The little brother of Oliver Lawrenson. At 6'2", 200 pounds. Nick Jensen chips that down. Here's Marincin back to pick it up. Larson swings it across. And Nicholas Jensen fires that in. Shots are 4-3 Slovakia with 4.5 to go here in the period.
So when these fans are chanting, "We want a goal," they might want a shot. Not much going on here for the first 15.5 minutes.
Tonight, Canada takes on the United States here in Kosice in Bratislava. Sweden against Russia. We know the top 4 teams in each group. What remains now is the order. And then a crossover for the quarterfinals. Top team in this group plays the 4th team, and so on. But then the teams are ranked from 1 to 8. So it won't be a bracket for the semifinals. The top remaining team will play the lowest ranked team. In a new wrinkle introduced this year, which you like, right?
I do. This way it solidifies your work earlier in the tournament, earns you a lower seed all the way through. There's been some crazy tournaments where a favorite gets upset early and it just opens up the door for a country. I don't know that you should get a break like that that's got nothing to do with you.
Kristoff works in. Drops it off. Studenic, a sharp angle shot, and Dom makes the stop on that.
Studenic, a fifth-round New Jersey pick from 2017, has had a good tournament. He played the previous 2 years in the OHL where he had 38 goals. His first year pro in Binghamton in the American League, scored 13 goals. He's pretty quick. In the game against Canada, he was really good. He had some good legs, had an assist in the game, and the whole game is being played in the 15 feet around the outsides of the rink. Nothing is happening through the middle of the ice.
Kristoff with it. A cautionary tale for those who would like to expand the NHL ice surface to the international size.
Please don't.
Defensive hockey was perfected on this size of sheet.
I mean, we all thought when we started playing here more regularly that it would be more offense, more room to make a play. The problem is there's dead ice. You just never, the puck never creates anything on the 5 or 7 feet that's out wide. We're gonna have our first power play, and
Denmark's gonna get penalized here as Matthias Bau goes off, and so with 2:45 to go, Slovakia, which has been good in the power play, gets the first man advantage of the game.
8 power play goals in the tournament. Libor Hudacek, who's going to draw the penalty here. I believe it's he who gets the elbow from Bau in the mouth. Hudacek's got 2 power play goals, as does Ladislav Nagy in the tournament.
Back at the point is Sekera. Drops it down to Hudacek. Hudacek swings in. Bank back for Sekera. Tatar back with it.
Their shooter is 81 Chernik.
Sekera fires down the stop. Rebound loose in front. And Sekera couldn't knock it down.
Chernak, who had 2 power play goals earlier, he can really shoot at the 5-on-3. He was the main target.
Tatar spins that back for Sekera. Sekera trying to swing that back across, and Tatar with it. And now Chernak did not hold the line.
A bit of a scruffy power play for Slovakia. They never really got good possession of it. You'll see this puck just outside the blue line there, because Chernak can't quite get to it. Sekera shooting for that slap pass. A good tip in front by Marco Dano, and Dom, who's had a very good tournament, played a couple of years in North America in the OHL and then won in the American League. It's his 8th World Championship, but he's been good for the Danes. It's not been their problem in goal.
Now brought in by Nagy, drops it back for Kristoff. To Marincin back at the point. Martin Marincin swings it back across to Nagy, the 39-year-old captain of the Slovak team, who led the Slovak Extra League in goal scoring this year, playing right here in Košice. Kristoff. Orland Toshe. Back to Marincin. Back to Nagy. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Kristoff in, shoots. That was blocked by Bodker. Minutes ago now in the period. Final seconds of the power play. Here's Nagy. Walks in and shoots. Dom makes the stop in tight. Peter Regan can't clear it out. Nagy knocks it down. Takes the return pass and feeds across for Kristoff. 3 shots for the Slovaks in that power play as Bau steps back on. Studenic feeds for Kristoff, spins and shoots off the outside of the goal. Now Kristoff, back to Marincin, to Kristoff. Time winds down here. in the first period. As Jesper Jensen swings that rink wide to Nick Jensen. He got clubbed down by Koch. And now Fervari swings it back, and these teams will go to the dressing room scoreless after the opening 20 minutes. Our first intermission coming up. You're watching the 2019 World Hockey Championship. quiet first period for the goaltenders. Sebastian Dam faces 7 shots from the Slovaks. And Dennis Godlet just 3 from Denmark. At the 18-minute mark of this period, so 18 minutes into this period, 38 minutes into the game, the fans here in Kosice will sing a tribute song to the late Pavel Demitra, who played 16 years in the NHL, played in 3 Olympics for the Slovaks, a former teammate of yours, Ray, who was tragically killed in the Yaroslavl plane crash in 2011.
What a tremendous man Pav was. He had great energy, he loved to laugh. I will never forget him playfully arguing with Keith Tkachuk in the locker room about who was in the right place on the ice or who was in the wrong place. He just had this great laugh, and greatly missed by people not just as we knew in North America, but here in Slovakia, a hero to many.
Screen pass for third, each missed, and now Chernak a shot that went wide. Sekera steps up, knocked down by Patrick Russell. It's knocked down by Sekera with a high stick, and play is called.
You mentioned a quiet first period. Only one player in the game, Marian Studenic of Slovakia, had 2 shots. Just was really no work done in the offensive zone. You see Coach Heinz Ehlers there drawing a little bit of a cycle play as he's talking to some of his he was stared towards the defense, trying to get them involved in the play.
Heinz Ehlers did not get his son Nikolai to play in this World Championship. He suffered a broken bone in his foot in the opening round loss to St. Louis.
Then they lost Lars Eller.
Yeah.
And they didn't get Franz Nielsen
or Freddie Anderson as Tatar moves it and shoots, and Dahl makes the stop.
Or Oliver Bjorkstrand. Those are huge, huge losses for them. I mean, for anybody, losing 4 or 5 NHL guys is going to hurt, but there's just not a chance they're going to be able to replace that level of player.
Rugesser winds his way in. And now Jesper Jensen pulls that free. Laid ahead for Hudacek. Oilers decided not to go with some of the young guys that the Danes had available, including Joachim Blichfeld, who scored 53 goals for Portland in the Western League this year. Jonas Rombier, who played his 4th World Junior in Vancouver. Now a steal. Chance across. Bondra fed back for Sukal. He missed on the pass from Lantoshi.
They turned basically a 3-on-0 into a no shot. Overpass by the net, and a really good back check for Denmark turns this one-timer into nothing. Turnover here, and Bondra's going to leave the puck to Lantosi, and as he tries to slide it back into the slot to Sukal, who's had an excellent tournament. Solid work by Nikolai Meyer to come back and break it up. That was almost a scoring chance.
Pretty near. Marcus Lorentzen to Meyer, rink wide for Madsen. Morten Madsen playing in his 14th World Championship for Denmark at the age of 32. There's none of a contract for next year. Now a steal by Meyer. Nikolai Meyer works in, drops it back for Madsen. That bounced away from him. That was almost a scoring chance too. And Sukal goes in for Lantoshi. He drops it off. It's picked off by Madsen. And Matthias Bau taken down, but play continued. Knocked down by Jensen Abo for Paulson. Up ahead for Julian Jakobsen. In comes Jakobsen, drops it back for Nicholas Jensen. That shot deflected wide. Jakobsen taken down. And now Sekera plays it back around. Back at the point. That shot taken by Oliver Larsson is gloved by Dennis Godla.
Just the 4th shot of the hockey game that Godla's had to deal with. Larsson's wrister from the point is cleanly seen and rather easily stopped. And I think you get into a point here where the game is spread out so much, nobody's really attacking the inside of the game, and when nobody attacks, the shots are not dangerous or easily handled, and 0-0 is the score, and really there's been one good scoring chance tonight.
Oliver Lorentzen played that back in the corner for Bodker. And now Russell back on it, tied up by Tchaikovsky. Oliver Lorentzen winds and shoots, and Godla fights that off with a blocker and knocks it over the glass.
Godla played in Kalpa, as you mentioned, Gordon, the Finnish Elite League. The 24-year-old was second in games played this year in that league. He's not a big guy, listed at just 5'11", which might be a stretch, but he's aggressive. He gets out a lot, out on top of the paint, maybe even beyond it, as he tries to make do with the size that he has. You're a little bit like Peter Mrazek in Carolina. You have to be aggressive to get out of the crease to try and take away as much net as you can.
Mrazek's figure will be the logo for the upcoming World Junior Championship in Ostrava and Trinec in the Czech Republic. Now fired down and icing waved off. Brinson thought that should have been called. Now it's brought back the other way by Studenic. Studenic. Now Marcus Lorenz's lost his stick, and the centering pass just missed Tchaikovsky, who jumped in.
I think Bodker got a stick on that to just deflect that away from Tchaikovsky, who was wide open on the back door.
Marcus Lorentzen for Bodker. Banked back down to the Slovak zone. And this will be icing against the Danes. And if you missed it earlier, here's what's at stake for Slovakia today. A win for them over Denmark. And in Norway lost to Latvia, would move Slovakia into 9th place in the IIHF rankings.
And there's the play by Bodker to deflect that away from Tchaikovsky on the back door. Good effort to come back. That's the second time that Denmark has foiled the chance with some real solid back-checking work.
And the reason that's significant for the Slovaks is the top 9 countries in the IIHF rankings after this World Championship or into the Olympics, if the host team, China, doesn't get an automatic berth, which is possible, although not likely. China's results internationally have been very poor, unlike South Korea, which got an automatic berth in 2018, but the South Koreans had actually beaten some teams in Division 1A and qualified for the World Championship in 2018.
Well, they were told that they had to show market improvement in their hockey program, and that's when Jim Peck was brought over.
Now a steal by Hudacek, in with Dano. Hudacek for the trailer, Tatar, in, shoots, that deflects wide. And now Storm works in. Storm shoots, that's off the foot of Ferivari, up and out of play.
Oh, you get your best chance, you get it on the stick of your best player, your top scorer, and Tomasz Tatar misses up over the glove side. Hudacek, who came into the tournament after not playing the first 2 games, has played well for Slovakia, finds Tatar, and just the left arm of Dom deflects this away. It actually hits right by the 32 on his left arm and turned aside, the best stop of the night.
So the final part of that story is that the IIHF Congress will meet this week in Bratislava and decide after the tournament whether China gets in or not. Here lobbying on behalf of China is a Czech, Jaromir Jagr. Centering pass, Bonder in, shoots, he missed just wide. Now Koch, a long shot, goes off a leg and bounces back to the corner. Here's Bondra. Feeds it back. Koch fires again. Dom makes the stop, and the long rebound picked up by Bao. Well, the Slovaks piling up the shots here. Still no goals. Shots are 10-5 in favor of Slovakia. Nicholas Jensen, a long shot that was tipped high by Meyer. Ferivari looks to move that ahead, picked up by Meyer. Back to Nicholas Jensen. He shoots. That went just wide. Godla never saw it. He was screened in front by Jakobsen. Larson plays it back down. And they whack away at the feet there of the Slovak defenseman. Koch trying to get a whistle. Suko plays that free, now picked off by Olesen. Olesen spins and shoots. That's knocked away by Godla. Now an icing call against the Slovaks.
Couple of scoring chances cracking open. There's David Bondra, who is going to get a chance from about 20 feet wide open in front of the net. And he flings this over top of the net. Dom is not a big goaltender either. He's listed at 6 feet. He doesn't look it. He's down. And Bondra wants to go up over the glove. Shoots it about 5 inches or so up over the net. The game's starting to crack open a few chances here in the last couple of minutes.
Jesper Jensen-Abo fires that back down for Denmark to Patrick Russell. At the point, Marcus Lauritsen. Back in for Russell. Regan got flattened in front by Koch. Ferivari. That centering pass missed Bonker and bounces back down to the Danish line. Jensen-Abo. Mikael Bonker up for Regan. The pass caught by Russell. Russell shoots. He flipped that wide. Now Regan back with it. Back to Jensen-Abo. Toshi fires that down. Dom leaps and makes the stop and is able to hang on. 12 minutes to go here in the second period. No score between Denmark and Slovakia. Vladislav Nagy played 8 years in the NHL, St. Louis, Phoenix, Dallas, and LA. A 7th round pick of the St. Louis Blues in 1997, part of the Slovak pack they had going there. Almarinson swings back. For Zigo. He lost the puck to Storm. Frederick Storm busts in on the steal and shoots, and Godla makes the glove save, cleaning up that little mess.
Maybe Godla's best. Frederick Storm, who played in Malmo, the Swedish league this year, steals the loose puck. Marincin comes back to close off any time Storm would have. But Storm, who had 17 goals this year, he's got 1 in the tournament, tries to get Godla up over the glove, and no dice, still 0-0.
And here's Sekar off the face-off win. By the way, 2 Slovaks. Zygmunt Palffy and Miroslav Shatan will be inducted into the IIHF Hall of Fame at the ceremony on Sunday. Jürgen Jonsson of Sweden, Haley Wickenheiser of Canada. Also in the player category as Chernak works in, spins and shoots. That goes off a foot. Mike Modano for Team USA. Khrushchev loose behind the goal now, drops it off for Nagy. Vladislav Nagy In his last game with the Slovak national team, drops it off for Ferivari. That centering pass missed, and now Sekera back with it. He centers it, and Dom knocked that high over the glass and out.
That's where I thought Slovakia would be able to break down Denmark in the game today. Thought they'd have more time in the zone, they'd be able to push them back, and really hasn't occurred. Just a few instances where they've had some chances off turnovers, but really nobody's been able to establish much of anything.
Now Dono, knocked off stride, gets back up and feeds it there for Hudacek. Back goes Ferivari with Meyer bearing it on him. Out to center ice to Dano. Marco Dano works in, shoots, and Dom makes a stop on that. In Bratislava, Latvia has scored to tie that game at 1. Nixon Grasses has scored for Latvia. Bow with it. Tied up by Ferivari. We talked about the Olympic qualification process. For countries like Slovakia, very difficult. The timing of the tournament makes it almost impossible to get your best NHL players there. The last Olympic qualifying tournament took place right before the World Cup of Hockey. So most of the teams were able to get guys. Norway had Matt Zuccarello.
You remember how that was all jammed in, though? There was guys that were playing across the world in qualifying tournaments and then flying the next day to Toronto to get to the World Cup.
So Anze Kopitar played for Slovenia in Olympic qualifying, then flew over, played an exhibition game for Team Europe at the World Cup, and then the tournament itself, and then went to training camp in Los Angeles.
Long start to a long year.
Kristoff works back in, trying to center it. Now Marincin shoots, but with no World Cup in 2020, extremely unlikely, with training camps opening earlier for NHL teams, that countries would get their best players, which makes it even more problematic for teams that do have some NHL players
that make the difference for them. Otherwise, it becomes more of a crapshoot, right? Your best guys aren't there. The other countries who might not have NHL players would have their best players. And
8:50 remaining here in the second period. Still no score. To go here in the second period. Denmark and Slovakia scoreless in their final game of this 2019 World Championship. Oliver Lawrence with that long shot that goes wide. Now brought up by Lantoshi. In for Bondra. David Bondra shoots, and Dom makes the save on him. Bondra was born in Annapolis, Maryland, when his dad was playing for the Washington Capitals. Spent 4 years at Michigan State. Played for Poprad in the Slovak League this year. Scored 22 goals and had 13 assists, just like his dad.
Just like his dad. Goals first, assists would be on rebounds.
think the 94-95 lockout year, Bondra led the league in goal scoring. He had 32. I believe he had 9 assists that year.
Man, could he skate. He'd come down the wing and just
Bondra a long shot.
Electrifying speed and everything in stride. You know, he could shoot the puck right off his left foot.
Cherenak and Bondra having some words.
Dmitry Kristich, Peter Bondra, Michael Pavonka was their line.
Yeah.
Pavonka could pass the puck.
Warning on the face-off. Give it to Boots. And chipped down the ice by Lunter. Dom out to play it. Farivari works it back in deep, trying to find Boots. And here is Nicholas Jensen. Up for Patrick Russell. The Edmonton Oilers prospect lost the handle. Now jumping in is Lishka. Lishka tied up, got bumped there, but plays it down. Lunter gets loose in the corner now. Farivari back with it. Slaps that down, hit the referee in the foot. And now Lunter loose in the corner with it. Back to Farivari. Across to Koch, who wrists it back in. Loose puck at the side of the goal. Lishka knocked off stride. There's been only one power play in the game. It went to Slovakia in the first period. Jesper Jensen winds his way in. Here's Frederick Storm. Nick Jensen lost the puck. Ludacek trying to play it out. And now chipped ahead by Dano. Nick Jensen, the former Oshawa General, Vancouver Canucks first round pick, plays it in for Morton Madsen. And Koch bumps Madsen off the puck. Now Madsen peels back in the corner. Ludacek up for Tatar. Winds it across the line. Tomas Tatar. Poke check there by Marcus Lauritsen. And Tatar gets it back up at center ice. Dano slapping his stick on the ice, calling for the puck to go the other way to Tatar. He wheels back and fires it in deep. Away comes Bow with it. Moves in. Nagy picks it up. Ladislav Nagy wearing the C for Slovakia today as a tribute to him in his last game with the national team. A member of their 2002 World Championship gold medal winning team. The high point of Slovak hockey, which came months after maybe the low point for their country. Kristoff works in, shoots, and Dom makes the save in tight. 5:49 to go here in the period. Still no score between Slovakia and Denmark.
Balovic.
Oh! 5:49 to go here In the second period, in a couple of moments, the fans here will sing a tribute to the late Pavel Dimitrov. We'll step back and let you hear that. Be the 38th minute of the game in honor of the late number 38. Here's Chernak with it. Back for Nagy, shoots, that was blocked. So Nagy won that World Championship in '02. At the Olympics that year, there was a qualification round before the actual tournament began. And the IIHF ruled that NHL players wouldn't be allowed to compete because it wouldn't be fair. Well, the Slovaks finished last in that qualification round with some of their best players sitting in the stands watching, unable to participate. Kristoff works it back to Sekera. That was blocked. Now Sekera back with it. But a couple months later, Slovakia won the World Championship. As Sekera feeds it back, Chernak in, shoots, and that's gloved by Dom.
Sebastian Dom's had a pretty sharp second period. A couple good stops. As slowly Slovakia is starting to take over the game. Chernak with a shot, but it's clean. A clean look and a glove stop for Sebastian Dom.
With Tampa getting knocked out of the playoffs so early was a boon to a bunch of teams in this tournament. The Russians are doing okay. Kucherov, Sergachev, Vasilevsky. Bondra knocked over Russell. And here's Tchaikovsky. Back to Martin Marincin. Suko plays that back to Tchaikovsky. Now Suko with it. Suko loose behind the goal, leaves it there for Lantoshi. Marincin feeds down to Lantoshi. And now Russell knocks it free. Had Regan streaking ahead, but Tchaikovsky comes back to knock that away. Tchaikovsky chips that down to the Danish zone. Fired in by Conch. Now loose puck there for Tatar. Drops it back. Dano into the goalpost. Marco Dano rang it off the pipe. Now a chance. Hudacek centered it. That was blocked by Nicholas Jensen. Fed back for Russell. In comes Patrick Russell. Nicholas Jensen throws it back in front. Jensen Abo had it blocked. And now Hudacek has it back for the Slovaks. Lauritsen back for Nick Jensen. He winds in across the line, steps around Dano. Jensen Abo back for Marcus Lauritsen. Jensen Abo drops it off to Nick Jensen. He shoots, it goes off a leg. Now Godlin knocks it down. This is the Pavel Dimitrov chant going up in honor of the late number 38 at the 38-minute mark of the game.
Damn, it's sad. What a great guy. All those poor people.
Morrison back out. The elementary school he attended his hometown, the Arena, both named in honor of Pavel Demitra. In comes Studenic. That's picked off by Bodker. Still 1-1 in Bratislava between Latvia and Norway. Nagy throws it rink wide for Studenic. Studenic for Marincin. Final minute now in the period. The long shot. Score! Marincin banks it in, and Slovakia has the lead.
Maybe in a game where not much has happened, it's a goal like this that breaks the ice. Marincin's shot is from the point, turned aside by Dom, but unfortunately for Denmark, it ricochets off Jesper Jensen's shin pad, and Martin Marincin, who has had a terrific tournament for Slovakia. It's his third goal. It's a lucky one, but it gives Slovakia a 1-0 lead 39 minutes into the game.
A little karma moments after the honor Demitra. Not the way Pavel would have done it, but take the result.
Oh, he would have had some slick move.
Now a backhand shot. Gorla gets the pad down and is able to knock that away. 31 seconds to go in the period.
He didn't stop that very confidently, and they do get the whistle. There is Martin Marincin, whose wrist shot bounces off of Jesper Jensen. Marincin came into the game leading Slovakia with 18 shots on goal. Look, Dom does what he's supposed to do. Make the stop, deflect it to the corner, except that Jesper Jensen is standing there and it's in the back of the net.
Nick Jensen works in. And now Suko back with it. Bondra with it. In the final seconds now of the period. Chernak leaves it there for Sekera. And time winds down here in the second period. Slovakia gets a late one. And we'll go to the third period with a 1-0 lead against Denmark. Our second intermission is coming up from the 2019 World Hockey Championship. Sebastian Dams allowed 1 goal and 18 shots. The only goal banked past him by Martin Marincin off the leg of Jesper Jensen. Martin Marincin has 4 career goals in the NHL, but has 3 in this tournament.
He's had an excellent tournament. I said earlier, Gord, he doesn't play like this in North America. He's been terrific. He's confident, he moves the puck, he gets up into play, he's defended really well, and it's just a different game, and he's just not been able to translate what we see here to North America on a regular basis.
Teams start this third period, 5-on-5. There's been only 1 power play in the game. That came in the first period.
By the way, Dennis Godla's turned aside 9 shots. In his first game, he had 17 against Great Britain. That's 10. 27 shots in 5 periods for Dennis Godla. He's not exactly getting overworked.
He's got all summer to recover. Marcus Lauritsen up for Nick Jensen, who can really shoot it. Jensen works in. Beals back in the corner. Jensen tries to swing that back for Russell. He shoots and fired that wide. And the puck skips off the glass. Over and out of play. Underway in Bratislava. Norway and Latvia are tied at 1.
Denmark wants to face off inside the zone. It's been ruled outside, and in a game where scoring chances, politely said, are at a premium, moving a face-off 40 feet away, it must be like moving it across the state. Like you're not getting there anytime soon.
Now Marincin on it. In the corner, picked out by Jesper Jensen, trying to work that free. And Tchaikovsky swings it ahead for Dano. Marco Dano banks that in. Still to come tonight here in Kosice. Canada against the United States in Bratislava. Sweden against Russia. We know the top 4 teams in each group that are going to the quarterfinals. We don't know the order. Save for the fact that Finland will be the 2nd place team in this group, Group A. No matter what happens between Canada and the United States tonight.
Pretty good cross-check from Hudacek into Patrick Russell. And Hudacek's played a feisty game. He's had a couple of chances, and not a real big guy, but he's run up against Russell a couple of times here, and he's not going to like this. And I kind of wonder what bothered him, really. Russell was pretty polite there.
Long shoot in, knocked away by Dam. We also know the Swiss will be 4th in Group B, but it looks very much like Finland will play Sweden in one of the quarterfinals. That'll be here in Kosice. Up like a little Finland-Sweden to get the blood boiling. Swedes can really score. The Finns can really defend.
Henrik Lundqvist has not had a great tournament in goal for the Swedes. Jacob Markstrom is the other goaltender.
Poked ahead for Bondra jumping in. Bondra drops it back for Sukel. Feeds it back, and a shot there by Langtoshi goes just wide. Leaned into that one and missed by inches. Jakobsen works in, tries to slide that back, picked up by Lunter. Ahead for Boots. In comes Boots, across for Lischka, in shoots, and Dom makes the stop, and there's no rebound.
Lischka got a couple of goals against Canada, his only 2 of the tournament. Doesn't get a whole lot on this shot here. A quick break from Slovakia out of their defensive zone, and he's going to have about a 35-footer that Dom just chews up.
Face off won by Regan. Back for Jensen Abo. There's a Jesper Jensen, Abo, a Nicholas Jensen, and a Nicholas Jensen on this Danish team. Toss in the Danish linesman who's here, who's also named Jensen, and well, it can get a bit confusing at times. Now Blocker got turned back, the Ottawa Senators player. Feeds that back, a little dribbled down close to Dom. And Oliver Lauritsen saved that. Lauritsen banks it ahead, that was knocked down. Kristoff lost the puck back to Oliver Lauritsen. Russell feeds it back to Oliver Lauritsen. Jesper Jensen, lead pass for Russell. In comes Patrick Russell. Turns it back in front, knocked down by Marincin. Lead pass for Lischka. Chips that down to the Danish zone, and Oliver Larsson meanders back, and icing called against Slovakia.
Lischka got pinched off, a pretty good read by Nicholas Jensen, who closed him off. He touched it down the ice, and you know, I was joking a little bit earlier about offensive zone faceoffs, but the chances just aren't there very often. So here's one for the Danes off an icing call.
That Craig Ramsey obviously disagrees with, the second-year coach of the Slovak national team. Real debate in some European countries about whether or not it's better to have a homegrown coach or bring in a foreign coach.
I think the answer is to get the best coach you can get. Like, why have somebody from home if they can't coach or if they don't know how to make the group better? Maybe the homegrown coach can work with the better coach, even if the better coach comes from another country. Start coaching, start hiring coaches to coach your coaches. You can't coach the same way you did 25 years ago. It doesn't work.
Nicholas Jensen back, and icing called again against the Slovaks.
These guys are going to be whipped here pretty quick. They're going to have to get possession to get a change. Another fresh group of forwards out for Denmark.
Marcus Lauritsen fires that around. And now Marincin plays it out, knocked down the line by Meyer. Nikolai Meyer plays it back in. And Boots chops that across for Tchaikovsky. Fires it down on goal. And the Slovaks complete the change. Meyer drops it back. Now Marcus Lauritsen in, shoots, that goes off his skate. Picked up by Meyer. And Tatar with it. Tatar winds in. Has to swing back as teammates were offside. Olsen swings it back. Oliver Lauritsen in, shoots, and that was blocked by Hudacek. Rugesser back to Oliver Lauritsen. Trying to get waves going in opposite directions here.
Well, here's going to be the first Denmark power play of the game. Unless they score.
Olsen poke checked away there by Godluck. And so Denmark will go to the man advantage with 13:50 to go in the third period. Real festival atmosphere here in Košice. Slovakia playing host to the World Hockey Championship for the second time in 2011. It was reversed. The gold medal games were here in Košice. The Slovaks played the round robin games in Bratislava. We're at the very eastern end of the country. Bratislava at the western end down near Vienna, only about a 30-minute drive from Vienna. Bodker on the Denmark power play as Marco Dano goes off for cross-checking.
Oh, it's 5-on-3 now.
Puck over the glass. And so now Sekera goes off. That's a huge blow for the Slovaks, down 5-on-3, and Sekera, a key penalty killer, the man going off.
He launches this right from the corner. It's going to airmail over top of everything as it flips up on its side, and the Danes couldn't ask for anything more than this. A minute 48 of 5-on-3 play.
So you've got Boots to take the face-off against Regan. Regan, Bow, Russell, and Bodker are the forwards. Bodker playing the point on the power play. Across to Jensen Abo. Russell back for Jensen Abo. To Regan. Swings that down. Tiernak had lost his stick for a moment. Regan back across to Jensen Abo. Russell feeds it back across. They score! Bodker. That didn't take long. And so they score on the 5-on-3, and now Denmark will still have a minute 41 to go on the power play.
Michael Bodker's first goal of the tournament. He had just 7 this year in Ottawa. A nice cross-crease pass that Dennis Godla catches up to, but doesn't get enough of it. It hits his left arm. Patrick Russell's pass goes across, and Bodker hits the left elbow of Godla, and this game is tied. Crisp pass that Godla can't reach, and when he misses it with the stick, that puts him a little bit behind. It hits just by the 30 on his arm, and it's 1-1. 7th power play goal of the tournament for Denmark.
So 1-1 here, 1-1 in Bratislava, and Denmark still on the power play. Just 19 seconds it took to score on the 5-on-3. Peter Regan winds his way through center ice. Regan up ahead for Bow. And that pass handcuffed Jensen Abo, and that gives the Slovaks time to regroup and pump it down. Jensen Abo throws that rink wide. Tiernak goes back. Suko up for Liska, shorthanded. Slovaks have scored 2 shorthanded goals in the tournament. Tchaikovsky and Suko have them. Jesper Jensen feeds that in, knocked down by Ferivari, and he'll feed it down the ice. Shots in the game are 27-11 in favor of Slovakia. David Bondra. Oliver Lauritsen drops that back to Julian Jakobsen. Sekera steps back on. No shots on that second part of the power play for Denmark. It remains a 1-1 tie. Marinson up ahead for Studenic. Moves it on Brugesser. What a move. Studenic, a backhand shot, and Dom makes the save on him.
What a burst of speed by Marian Studenic. He took the breakout pass just inside his own blue line from Marincin, and now he's gone. He's going to turn Brugesser, get outside and go around Sebastian Dom, but he can't quite lift the puck over the pad as Dom is down, misses the poke check. but a great rush by Studenic, who protected the puck all the way around the Denmark defenseman Brugesser, and is turned aside. A nice save for Dom.
Now the Danes fire it down, icing called, 11:10 to go here in the third period.
Watch him get to the outside and protect the puck. He gets that left or the right leg out to protect from Brugesser. And then he pulls the puck tight to his feet to get it around Sebastian Dom. He runs out of a little bit of room as Lorenson's coming from the far side, but Dom stays with him to make the stop.
Černak fires it down. Černak, one of 7 of these Slovak players who played in the NHL this season. Bodker tries to work that free. Studenic across to Černak. Kristoff winds in with Tatar. Fresh legs coming off the bench. Dano walks it and shoots. Dom makes the stop. Tatar digging for the rebound. Now Tatar back with it. Perivari, a high shot that goes wide. Bounces in behind the goal to Tatar. Good pressure now from this group. Perivari steps around Bodker. Feeds it back in. Hudacek fanned out. The puck's in his feet. Good job to pick that out. Hudacek walks in. Right in front of backhand shot. Stopped by Dom and is able to hang on.
This has been the Slovaks' best line of this hockey game. Dano, who is playing in place of Richard Panik, who was out of the lineup. Tatar and Hudacek, who's just been a fireball here in the third period. You can see the frustration as he doesn't get enough on it to get it by Sebastian Dom. But they have been all over Denmark from the middle of the second period on. That line has generated 4 or 5 good chances. Dano hit a goal post in the second period.
Latvia has taken a 2-1 lead on Norway in Bratislava, and again to reset the situation for the Slovaks. If the Slovaks beat Denmark and Latvia beats Norway, Slovakia would jump over Norway into 9th place in the IIHF World Ranking after this tournament. That's when the IIHF will determine the rankings for the upcoming Olympics in Beijing for 2022. 9:50 to go here in the third period. Still a 1-1 tie here. So it's a 1-1 tie here. We mentioned earlier that 9th place possibility for Slovakia in the world ranking is significant, or could be, because 9 teams gain automatic entry into the Olympic tournament in hockey. It's normally the top 8 plus the host nation. If they're not in the top 8, China is well out of that. And the IIHF Congress will decide after this tournament whether or not China will get an automatic berth as the host team. Prior to the 2018 Olympics, they did decide that Korea would get in. The Koreans subsequently qualified for the top division at the World Championship the next year. So Latvia has scored twice in 56 seconds, leads that game 3-1. And a penalty coming now to Slovakia again as Dom moves off. Here's Jesper Jensen with it. Marcus Lorentzen swings back. So Denmark going back to the power play here midway through this period. Bodker. Jesper Jensen feeds that back. Look out. Storm loses the puck, and with 8:53 to go in the period, the penalty would go to Slovakia. And Denmark, with a power play goal here in the period and a 5-on-3, will go back to the man advantage. The high sticking call.
We've seen Hudacek's been up on edge a little bit here in this third period. He was involved with Russell. He swung his stick around after he missed a chance, and here in his battle for the puck, he turns around, gets a stick up, and the Danes, who already have a power play goal, could take the lead here with another power play chance.
Off the face-off, Marincin can't work it free. Now Regan back around for Russell. Jensen Abo races back to it. Regan back for Bodker, and Marincin risks that down the ice. Peter Regan spins back. Regan being watched by Boots, who got a stick on that. And now Bodker winds his way out. Mikael Bodker drops it back to Russell. In for Bodker. Down to Bow. Matthias Bow plays it back for Bodker, then moves to the front of the net. Bodker winds that back for Jensen Abo. Feeds there for Regan. Backdoor pass for Bodker. Bounced off his stick. Bodker down to Bow. Back for Bodker. Less than a minute to go on the power play. Jensen Abo back for Regan. Winds and shoots. That deflects wide and comes out and back down to the Danish zone. Jensen jumps it across the line. Tchaikovsky pokes at it. Now back at the point, it's held by Marcus Lorentzen. Madsen feeds that back for Storm. Frederick Storm works in, drops it back for Jesper Jensen. Marcus Lorentzen, a shot that was blocked by Suko. Tchaikovsky has it. Slapped that down. He's hit the linesman with it.
The linesman just threw his hands up like, what are you doing? Why would you shoot? They're arguing, the linesman and Tchaikovsky. The linesman's angry.
Koch up for Hudacek, winds in as his penalty expired. No shots for Denmark on that power play. Hudacek again tangled up with Nick Jensen and gave him a bit of a stick.
I'd say it's even money. He takes another penalty before the end of the night here.
Oliver Lorentzen pokes it down to Julian Jakobsen. Back across to Poulsen. At the point, Burgers are a hard shot. That goes wide, comes out the other side. And Nagy bats at it. Lead pass for Hudacek, being watched by Brugesser. And Hudacek slips that in deep for Kristoff. Oliver Lorentzen for Regan, who peels back inside 6 to go now in a tied third period. Regan up ahead for Bodker. Mikael Bodker shoots, that goes wide. Bondra tries to poke down ahead. And Regan slides it back. Tatar. Swings it back around. Tchaikovsky jumps in. Try to center that. Now Suko backing him up. Picks up the puck along the boards. Leaves it for Tatar. Antoshi Centering pass, Tatar shoots, Dom makes the save in tight. Got the puck to the guy they wanted. And Dom turns it away. Back in the Slovak blue line, Marincin picks it up. Lead pass for Suko. Slovaks get fresh legs on the ice as Suko plays it around for Studenic. Nagy leaves it there for Tchaikovsky. Winds and shoots off the outside of the goal frame. That's for Jensen. That's headed by Godla. Dodge with it. Knocked down by Nagy. Ladislav Nagy feeds it in for Studenic. Waits for help to arrive, drops it off. Nagy in. Dom is down. The centering pass is knocked down by Russell. Dom was down and out, but the Slovaks couldn't get a man loose in front. Inside 4 to go in the third period. Kristoff. Jumps in, Kristoff. Feeds it back for Chernak. Chernak works in. Loose behind the goal. Slides that back to Sekera. A long shot. That goes wide. Kristoff races to it. Knocked down by Nick Jensen. And he shovels it back down to the Slovak zone. Montoshi banks it ahead. In with Suko and Lunter. Montoshi, a sharp angle shot, stopped by Dom. Lunter back with it. Rolling puck in the corner, feeds it back to Marincin. Suko gets bumped there by Nicholas Jensen. They tangle behind the net. And Lunter couldn't hold the line for Slovakia. Inside 3 to go. Jumping to keep that alive was Marincin, but the puck had bounced out. Jakobsen feeds it back. We want a goal is the chant. Icing call against Denmark.
There's Hudacek now. He's got the stick up on Nick Jensen. Now he's tied up with Jensen again. And they're still going to bark at each other on their way back to the bench. Hudacek's been a fun guy to watch in this tournament. I've liked his energy, and since dropped into the middle of that top line with Panik and Tatar, he's been a really good player. Now without Panik, it's a little bit different of a line today with Marco Dano, who doesn't get around the ice quite the same way.
Off the face-off, Bonker with it. Snaps that pass rink wide, missed Storm, and it's another icing call against the Danes.
Heinz Eller's in a 1-1 game. I think he's probably pleased with the way his team has rebounded after a couple of games. They just got pounded 7-1 by the U.S. and 5-0 by Canada.
He was a 9th round pick of the New York Rangers back in 1984. He played for 20 years in 5 countries. His son Nikolai, of course, is a terrific young player for the Winnipeg Jets. Now Regan plays that back, and swinging back to pick it up is Marcus Lorentzen. Lead pass to Nick Jensen. Heath Hudacek collide again as Jensen steps around him. Nick Jensen works in, fans on that shot. Hudacek gathers it back up. Under 2 to go here in the third period. Latvia still 3-1 on Norway, and Hudacek and Jensen are back at it. Hudacek, a couple of late bops there. This has been simmering for a couple of minutes now. You said it was even money. He gets another one. What's it if he gets 2 here?
2 is the daily double now. I don't know how they'll come up with this. Hudacek's getting a penalty for sure.
Hudacek's running hot. A couple of late gloves to the face there, so Let's see if anyone gets the extra one. Jensen's hot too. Jensen's a guy with a temper as well. We've seen that in past years in the tournament.
Well, this isn't going to settle down if Oliver Lawrenson's getting into it now, and he's wandered into the fray. And Hudacek for sure is gone. And with under 2 minutes, that'll take him out until the end of regulation.
Now, one thing here. If he gets a misconduct, that would take him through the end of a potential overtime. He would not be allowed to shoot in the shootout if he's in the penalty box. These two have been in each other's grills for the last 10 minutes.
He looks up and he's like, okay, I've had enough. It's you again. Okay, so that's a penalty.
Okay, that's one, yeah.
The referee is arguing with Lawrenson here to get him in the box, so Oliver Lawrenson will go in too. Nick Jensen doesn't have anything. Well, Hudacek's lucky he only got one penalty here, Gord. Well, assuming that's all he's got.
Keep going. There's another one. Another overhand right came in.
Oh, you know what? Chernik is going here, so Hudacek is the extra penalty. Denmark is going to finish on the power play here. It's a really undisciplined, untimely penalty for Libor Hudacek to take.
Let's see what they call this. I wonder if it is a misconduct to Hudacek. There's a minor penalty on the board, so I think Hudacek might have gotten a 10-minute misconduct, which means that Chernik is serving his penalty.
No, I don't. Chernik wouldn't be serving the penalty. They'd want him killing the penalty. Chernik and Lawrenson, I believe, have roughing minors. Hudacek has put them down shorthanded.
That bounces down. So offsetting roughing penalties, and the extra penalty goes to Hudacek and Denmark, as you mentioned, on the power play. Now picked up at the corner, a centering pass for Lishka, just missed. As Sukol knocked that down. So if they're tied here, it'll be 5 minutes of 3-on-3, and then if necessary, a shootout. Regan plays it around for Russell. Knocked down by Bow. And swept down the ice by Russell. A minute to go in the third period. 4-1 now, Latvia leading Norway. Boots picks that free in the corner. Drops it back to Farivari. Up for Sekera. Feeds it down to Bondra, shoots, and Dom knocked that away. A good shorthanded chance for David Bondra.
Remember, the Denmark power play goal was a 5-on-3 marker. They didn't get anything going 5-on-4, and it's been that way for most of this one.
In comes Storm. Drops it back to Nick Jensen. Takes the return pass. Walks it and shoots. That was blocked. Sukol picks up the loose puck. Sukol fights off Jesper Jensen and feeds that down. As time winds down here in the period, there will be some time on the power play to carry over for Denmark into the overtime. 10 seconds of it. So it'll be 4-on-3 on the power play when overtime begins. A discussion going on between the Slovaks and the officials about who gets to come out of the box when the penalty expires in 10 seconds. There's offsetting minor penalties.
It has to be Hudacek that comes out of the box because the other two penalties went in together.
Right.
So Hudacek's the shorthanded penalty. He has to come out, which is probably who they would want to come out, I would think. Because it will revert to 3-on-3 on the first whistle.
Right. We've seen 2 empty net goals in tie games the last couple of days. Latvia pulled their goaltender against Sweden yesterday, they needed a 3-point win in regulation to advance, didn't get it. And then earlier today, the Swiss pulled their goaltender against the Czechs, trying to jump up the standings and lost 5-4. But here it's overtime. Denmark begins on the power play. Lauritsen across to Storm. He's tied up there by Marinson. Marcus Lauritsen feeds it back. Hudacek steps back on. It's 4-on-4. Lauritsen shoots, go to the save. And the rebound knocked down. It'll be 4-on-4 for now. The next whistle, as you mentioned, down to 3-on-3. Tchaikovsky digging for it. Here's Storm. Welcome those of you watching the game between Latvia and Norway in Bratislava. Here, overtime between Denmark and Slovakia. It's 4-on-4 right now. On the next whistle, it'll go down to 3-on-3. There were some penalties at the end of regulation time. And just to reset the situation, if the Slovaks can win this game, they'll jump to 9th in the IIHF World Ranking. Might give them a spot automatically in the Olympics if China isn't granted an automatic berth as the host nation. And that is possible. That will be decided by the IIHF Council on Monday after this tournament ends. Nick Jensen walks in and shoots. It banks off the leg of Sekera.
Look out.
And now a chance. Sukal busts in. In comes Sukal. A partial break. Swings it back and just missed Lantoshi with that pass. Back at the line, Sekera. Walks right in. Sekera in. Feeds it back across for Sukal. And now Sukal back for Sekera. To Lantoshi. Long wrist shot that bounces down. Dom makes the save and shovels it across. It'll stay 4-on-4. Fresh legs on the ice now for the Slovaks. Sekera. Drops it back for Tchaikovsky. Steps around Marcus Lauritsen. Walks right in. Tchaikovsky still with a backhand shot. Hit the side of the goal. Kristoff with it. Back in the point is Tchaikovsky. Drops it off for Kristoff. Swings it across for Sekera. Studenic winds his way back. Studenic trying to feed that back and gets it right back. And now moves back to center ice. Fan of that pass. Russell knocks it down. Jesper Jensen, who had the Slovak goal bounce in off his leg into the net, feeds that back. Nicholas Jensen works it in. Still haven't got to 3-on-3. Fervari swings back now for the Slovaks. Thomas Tatar. Rink wide pass for Lishka. Marinson a good job to stay onside there. And now Regan knocks it down for Denmark. Across he goes for Nicholas Jensen. Knocked down at center ice by Ferravari. Back for Marinson. Inside 2 to go in the overtime. Sekera drops it back. Here's Ladislav Nagy. Nagy winds in, drops it back for Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky to Nagy. Nagy feeds it down to Sekera. 90 seconds to go in overtime. Still no whistles. A centering pass bounce around in front. Scooped out now, and Marcus Lauritsen brings it ahead along with Storm. Lauritsen shovels that towards the goal. Gloves it and plays it ahead for Nagy.
He did that in the first minute of the game. He's going to do it in the last minute. No whistles.
Lead pass for Sekera moving in. Sekera winds and shoots, just missed wide. That rattles off the glass and back down to the Slovak zone. Final minute of overtime. It's still 4-on-4. Kristoff works in. Drops it back for Marinson. A long shot. That's tipped high by Bondra. And with 51 seconds to go in overtime, we finally get a stoppage. And now it'll be 3-on-3.
Matis Sukals had a terrific tournament. He thinks Lantosi is going to the post. Lantosi is opened up for the one-timer. The pass is right where you would go if you're left-handed. But Sukals right-handed. He was pulled up for the shot and the one-time pass. And the puck slides by.
Eric Chernak, who sat in the box, he served like 6 minutes on a 2-minute minor. He's out there now. The face-off won by Regan.
Both teams have 2 forwards and 1 D left with 45 seconds in overtime.
Regan drops it back to Lauritsen. There has been last-minute heartbreak for Slovakia in 2 of their games against Canada and against Germany. Inside 30 seconds to go in OT. Bonker works it and shoots. That deflects wide as Chernak got a stick on that. Bonker drops it back. He'll go off on a change as Tatar picks up the loose puck. Time winding down. Tatar moves ahead. Poke check, but Chernak picks it up. Now he swings back. Chernak feeds it in for Kristoff. Time winding down. Kristoff in across the line. Gets a shot away, and Dom kicks that away at the horn. And this game between Slovakia and Denmark is going to a shootout. his last game with the Slovak national team, Ladislav Nagy is wearing the C and got his team a win in the coin toss. So Slovakia will go first in this shootout. And again, to recap, if Slovakia wins this, there's a chance, not sure how much of a chance, that they would not have to qualify for the 2022 Olympics. They would get in as a top 9 country. That's only if China isn't granted an automatic berth. So the goaltenders are in position, and the first shooter will be Marian Studenic. It's a 5-round shootout, 5 different shooters to start.
Studenic had a breakaway in the third period. He went to the backhand.
In on Dom. Studenic, and doesn't get a shot away.
One extra move, and Dom, who backed up into the crease, made the poke check. If I'm watching that, if I'm Slovakia, I'm watching the way Dom got so deep in the net. You can push him back and get the puck up over his shoulders. He's a little guy. That would be the move I would look at on Sebastian Dom.
And now Bodker for Denmark. Bodker jumps in, and he's stopped by Godla.
Well, Godla stayed with that nicely. Bodker attacked with speed off the right wing. He wants that shot where you go to the forehand just over the pad, but then it's Godla right there to make the save.
If it's still tied after 5 rounds, then it's a single round, and you can go back to shooters you've used already. Sukol works in, and he doesn't get a shot away.
Keep dumping it in the corner. You're not going to get much success here. Both of them lose the puck the same way. Look how deep the goaltender is in the net. That is a shot up over his shoulders. If they're watching, that's where they have to go.
Now Regan, another NHL veteran, moves in, and he's poke checked by Godla, who lost his mask, but makes the save. Goals have been hard to come by in the game and the shootout.
Not many goalies go full out, sellout anymore. And here's Ladislav Nagy in his last game with the national team.
Walks in and scores. Just like you advised.
Watch how deep he's going to get into the net. He gets small as he backs up, and Nagy makes a perfect shot. What a fantastic shot in the moment for Ladislav Nagy.
Now Nick Jensen, another National Hockey League veteran for the Danes. Winds in, he's stopped by Godla.
Now here's the difference in the way these two goaltenders are playing it. They're roughly the same size. Godla gets out to the crease, and watch, he just parks himself on the top of the crease. He doesn't back up with the shooter. He stays right there. Here's Tomas Tatar. Tatar likes the fake to the forehand, and he'll get the puck into the top of the net.
Dom backs up, Tatar in, and he flipped that high. Remains 1-0 in favor of Slovakia.
Tatar loves this move where he sells it deep, and he'll go to the forehand and get this thing up hop, but look at the puck, it's whirling and wobbling, and Dom actually makes a nice effort to get part of it.
Fredrik Storm to tie it for Denmark. Stopped by Godla. And now Slovakia can win it.
Storm makes a good shot. Godla quick with the left pad to make the save, and here's Kristoff with a chance to put it away.
Michael Kristoff works in, holds, scores! And Slovakia wins it. A 2-1 shootout victory for the Slovaks. And more than just a moral victory to end this World Championship on home ice, they'll find out on Monday if it means they've qualified automatically for the Olympics.
This will go into the record book with a game-winning goal in his last game for captain Ladislav Nagy.
best player of Slovakia is number 27. The three best players are selected by each team and the award will be presented by troch najlepších hráčov určili zástupcovia každého tímu a cenu im odovzdá Aneta Buddy, Director of the Local Organizing Committee of the 2019 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The three best players of Team Denmark are traja najlepší hráči Dánska sú number 9, David Fairlight Storm. Number 93, representing Greta Redding. Number 89, also representing Miguel Rutka. The three best players of Team Slovakia are traja najlepší hráči Slovenska sú number 2, Andrej Sekera, 18,
tomu, že ste zároveň súčasťou jednej neopakovateľnej a možno aj slzami ovenčenej histórie a udalosti. Let me warmly welcome all of you, fans of the ice hockey from all around the world. You are members right now of a really special occasion, which is unrepeatable, pretože je to udalosť, ktorá sa naozaj opakovať nemôže. This is not only the final game of Slovak representative of ice hockey on these championships, nie je to len posledný zápas našej reprezentácie, ale je to aj rozlúčka. Veľmi príjemná a myslím, že v konečnom dôsledku aj radostná. It's a goodbye game for our ice hockey icon, for our great player. Ja len poviem v stručnosti niekoľko čísel, ktoré sa týkajú práve nášho dnešného večerného hrdinu. Odohral, he played in NHL 435 games for St. Louis Blues, Phoenix Coyotes, Dallas Stars, and LA Kings, while he recorded 115 goals and 311 points. Hero of this night, hrdina tejto noci, odohral a vyhral zlatú medailu pre Slovensko v roku 2002. He won the gold medal with Slovak ice hockey team in 2002. Za reprezentáciu for Slovak team he played, odohral 122 zápasov a strelil 34 gólov. Hral aj za kluby, ako je Leo Poprad, Severstov Čerepovec, Modo, HC Minsk, HC Poprad, ale jeho domáca aréna je tu, v Košiciach. Zámory v NHL, in NHL. All the fans and announcers called him, všetci ho volali Ladislav Neji. Ale u nás doma je tu chlapec zo Šace, ktorý sa volá Laco Náď. Poďme sa pozrieť na jeho kariéru. Aby som medzi nás pozval prezidenta Slovenského zväzu ľadového hokeja, pán Martin Kohút. Prichádza aj generálny manažér slovenskej reprezentácie Miroslav Šatan a veľmi sa teším, že medzi nami sú aj Lacovi najbližší. Jeho manželka Peťka a deti Peťka a Tomáško. Poďte medzi nás. Milí návštevníci, milí hostia, milí fanúšikovia ľadového hokeja, Ladislav Naď! To už je moment, kedy hrdina prehovorí. Laco, dobrý večer ti zdravia diváci, počúvaj, dobrý večer. Posledný reprezentačný zápas, v podstate vo svojej domácej aréne, posledný zápas kariéry a možno tvoj pocit.
Tak je to niečo neuveriteľné, ale každý zápas bol excelencií. Všetci tu, čo ste, my sme v Košice majú najlepších fanúšikov. Počkajte. Tomáš. Boli ste fantastickí. Celých 60 minút ste nás hnali dopredu. Škoda, že to nevyšlo. Je to veľké sklamanie. My všetci chceli sme postúpiť ďalej, ale vy ste boli super. Perfektní ste boli každý jeden zápas. Ďakujeme všetkým.
Laco, ja si myslím, že najlepšie sa ti odďačíme aj v rámci tribún, jednak potleskom a jednak pesničkou, ktorú máme pre teba pripravenú a ktorá je vlastne naozaj tvojim špeciálnym songom. Zachytil si tú pesničku?
Nehrali ju.
Tak hrajte, špeciálna pesnička pre teba. Samozrejme za potlesku divákov.
Dámy a páni, ešte jedno slovo na záver. Chcem vám veľmi všetkým poďakovať za to, čo ste to dokázali vytvoriť počas týchto majstrovstiev sveta. Steel Arena je narušená základom. Vďaka vašich hlasov.
This was a game that went the distance, taking it all the way to a shootout. But was this an effort that Denmark could be proud of, ending the tournament this way?
Yeah, for sure. This was a great game for us. I mean, we were disappointed that the way we came out the last couple of games. Today we came out strong. We battled all the way, and you know what? A shootout can go either way. I think we gave it all we had. We're proud of the way we fought today.
Considering that you hadn't gotten the start in the last two games, I'm sure you were motivated to make a statement today. How are you able to keep your composure in such key moments like that shootout?
Yeah, I definitely had some fresh legs today. That's always good on the last day, given that some of the boys, all the boys played last night for us. So that was key for me, this being a tough game. Obviously, at this tournament, anything can happen, and it was planned if we couldn't make it all the way to the quarterfinals that I would get a little bit of rest. So yeah, I felt good today.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
A mixture of emotions here. You have fans that are crying, fans that are cheering. A beautiful send-off for Ladislav Nagy.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best Slovakian hockey players, so we wanted to make sure we got a final win for him, and he's done a tremendous job for the Slovakian Federation of Slovakian Hockey. A lot of young kids looked up to him, and he's their idol, so we wanted to have a W for him at the end of the tournament. Too bad we couldn't go a little bit further, but you know, sometimes that's life.
The course of the World Championships, you had been wearing the captaincy on your jersey. Whose decision was it to give it to him today?
Oh, it was my no-brainer. His last game at the home crowd, so everybody would do it for him. You know, he's such a great guy in the locker room, so in a blink of an eye, I just give it to him.
This is also Craig Ramsey's last game with the Slovakian national team. How was he able to get the most out of this group?
Oh, well, he's honest first with you, and he tries to play simple and plays the game to our strength. If we follow the plan, we have chance to win every night. If we don't, sometimes it gets tougher on us.
Any plans to continue the celebrations the rest of the evening?
Oh, we'll probably have a team dinner, and that'll be it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Canada-USA rivalry kind of writes the narrative itself. What are you telling your group to get up for this matchup?
Oh, there's nothing to tell our players. All week long, we've worked. We knew that this last game was going to be an important game, or we were hoping it was going to be an important game, and it is. So, both teams obviously are going to go out there, work extremely hard, are going to do everything they can to win. So it should be a lot of fun. It's going to be fun for the fans watching it back home. It's going to be fun for the fans that are here, and it's going to be fun for the people participating, coaches and obviously players.
Your top line of Dubois, Stone, Marchessault, have they exceeded your expectations in terms of what they've been able to produce?
No, I mean, we expected a lot. If we were going to have success in this tournament, we needed those guys to play well 5-on-5 and do a job for us on the power play, which they have. So, when you have success in a tournament like this, a short-term event, your top players have got to be on top of their game. And tonight they're going to have another opportunity to show that they are on top of their game.
You've shown your trust in Thomas Chabot, putting him in all situations. What stands out about his poise and decision-making abilities?
Well, there's no doubt that, skill-wise, he has the mobility and he sees the ice real well. With that, driving on the opportunity that we're giving him, and, we need him to be on top of his game. Driving on the opportunity that we're giving him, and we need him to be on top of his game.
Any of
the only lineup change will be putting Tyson Yos in for Tanner Bertuzzi. That's the only change, and Matt Murray's going to be our goaltender today. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Canada-USA, one of the greatest rivalries. How much do players and coaches love to be in moments like this?
Oh, it's great. I've been a part of a number of these now, and they've all been great games. I've been on the top of some of them, on the wrong side of some of them, going back to World Juniors a long time ago. And so it's an awesome thing. It's a good way to end this preliminary round, and it obviously matters a ton. It matters for seeding a ton. I think just importantly, as I've said to you earlier, we got to keep finding ways to play our best hockey. I don't think we've got there yet. We've got work to do to get there, but no better stage to do it on than against Canada.
We've already talked about what Zach Werenski will bring to this team, but how quickly do you get him acclimated considering all the travel that he had to go through to be here?
Yeah, and that's one of the hardest things about the tournament when you add guys late. The travel's an issue. Getting some chemistry develops an issue. Understanding the systems are an issue. And so, we'll put him in, though. We're gonna feed him to the Wolves right away. He's going to play lots of minutes. He's going to be an important piece of our team right away, and hopefully he can get acclimated as quickly as possible. I think a lot of times this first game's the easy game. Sometimes the second game's harder. Let's hope this first game goes real well for him.
On paper, it looks as though that USA has the advantage given the talent that you possess. How do you use your speed to your advantage when Canada will likely use their size?
Yeah.